Name a more popular woman basketball player right now than Caitlin Clark. I'm not saying better, because clearly Asia Wilson, there are many women better than she is. Oh, yeah. Assists in the league, Caitlin Clark is 4th. Diana Taurasi is 79th. In rebounding, Caitlin Clark is 27th. Diana Taurasi is 35th. Chelsea Gray has not played all year. She hasn't played in a WNBA game yet. You do realize that, right? I didn't understand because I view myself as talent. But now trying to get sponsors, trying to get...
And why Caitlin Clark didn't make Team USA? A fiery take from Shannon Sharpe might make you rethink everything. He's questioning how the selections were made and sparking a bigger conversation about where women's basketball is headed. Ready to look at this controversy from a different perspective? Sharpe didn't hold back when reacting to Clark being left off the roster. His comments have everyone buzzing. In his view, it's a major misstep that could have ripple effects across the sport. It's not just about Clark's talent, though she's been dominating on the court. Sharpe argues the decision goes beyond individual performance, pointing to its potential impact on ticket sales, fan turnout, and even future salaries in the WNBA. So what's your take? Did Team USA get it wrong? Or is there more behind the scenes? Let's dig into what this decision could mean for the game overall. Now, looking at Clark's performance, why is she such a standout? Is she truly outplaying some of the athletes who were selected? The stats paint a compelling picture. She's currently sitting around 13th in the league in points per game, impressive on its own. But scoring is just one part of her game. Clark has been showcasing her versatility in a big way. She ranks 4th in assists across the league, proving she's not just putting up points, she's elevating her teammates too. And it doesn't stop there. Defensively, she's contributing as well, placing 27th in rebounds, 18th in blocks, and 17th in steals, showing she can hold her ground on both ends of the floor.
Complete player, but here's where it gets interesting. Shannon Sharpe isn't just impressed by her stats. He's looking at the...
Shannon Sharpe isn't bringing up popularity just for hype. His point is that Clark's appeal goes beyond what she does on the court. She could elevate Team USA off it as well. According to him, games featuring Clark average over 17,000 fans in attendance. Now imagine the kind of buzz and jersey sales she could have generated on an Olympic stage. That kind of draw is hard to ignore. He also questions some of the roster decisions. For example, Chelsea Gray was selected despite not playing during the season, which raises eyebrows when compared to Clark's current form. If the focus is on performance right now, Clark seems to have a strong case. Sharpe goes even further, making a bold claim that Clark is currently playing at a higher level than Diana Taurasi. That's a big statement given Taurasi's legendary career, but Sharpe's argument is based on present-day production rather than past achievements. So where does that leave things? Is Team USA passing up a major opportunity by leaving Clark out? Her all-around skill set, elite passing, strong scoring, and playmaking could have added a fresh dynamic to the team. But beyond stats, there's something else Clark brings: energy and excitement. Fans are drawn to her, the media can't stop covering her, and she has that rare ability to pull new audiences into the sport. That kind of impact is difficult to measure, but impossible to overlook. Alright, let's go a level deeper into this debate. Shannon Sharpe isn't just frustrated about Caitlin Clark being overlooked for her on-court ability. He's pointing to something much bigger: the missed marketing upside. You might wonder what marketing has to do with basketball, but in today's sports landscape, it's a huge part of the equation. Sharpe raises a simple but powerful question. Can you name a more popular women's basketball player right now than Clark? That alone says a lot. She's not just performing, she's become a full-blown phenomenon, and in Sharpe's view, Team USA failed to tap into that momentum. But this isn't just about popularity for the sake of it. Sharpe frames it in business terms. He argues that if Clark had been on the roster, she could have outsold every other player in jersey sales combined. That's a bold take, but not completely out of nowhere. Think about how many casual viewers might tune in just to watch her play. And it goes beyond merchandise. Sharpe highlights the attendance factor too. Games featuring Clark draw massive crowds. Now picture that same level of excitement on a global stage like the Olympics. The potential boost for women's basketball could have been enormous. To support his point, Sharpe looks back at history, drawing comparisons to iconic selections. When Magic Johnson was part of the Dream Team, it wasn't just about skill, it was about global appeal. The same goes for Christian Lettner making that roster. Those decisions carried marketing weight as much as competitive value. Sharpe's argument, at its core, is this: leaving Clark off the team might not just be a basketball decision, it could be a missed chance to grow the game on a much larger scale. Sharpe's argument is that situations like this aren't always just about who's performing best in the moment. It's also about who can bring the most attention to the game. And according to Shannon Sharpe, that's where Caitlin Clark stands out. But here's where his take really expands. He's not focused only on short-term benefits. He's thinking about the long-term growth of women's basketball. In his view, the sport can only truly grow if advertisers and sponsors invest more money into it, and he believes Clark could be a major catalyst for that. The logic is pretty straightforward. More viewers lead to bigger sponsorships. Bigger sponsorships bring more revenue, and that money can improve everything from player salaries to training facilities and even opportunities for the next generation of athletes. It creates a ripple effect that could reshape the entire landscape of women's sports. With that in mind, the conversation shifts to the decision itself. If leaving Clark off the roster could have such wide-reaching consequences, why was that call made in the first place? What factors are actually driving these selections? Are decisions based more on a player's long-term resume or on who's performing best right now? Understanding the selection criteria becomes key to making sense of the controversy and figuring out whether this was purely a basketball decision or something more complex behind the scenes. It turns out the situation isn't as straightforward as it seems. Shannon Sharpe raises a compelling point by asking whether selections are based on what players have accomplished in the past, like when Magic Johnson earned his spot through legacy as much as performance. It's a fair question, because in many cases, reputation and history do carry weight. But this is where things get complicated. Sharpe points out that Chelsea Gray hasn't played during the season, yet still made the roster. That naturally leads to questions about whether experience and past success are being prioritized over current form, especially when someone like Caitlin Clark has been performing at a high level. Then there's Diana Taurasi. Her legacy in women's basketball is undeniable, but Sharpe makes the bold claim that Clark is outperforming her right now. That brings up a bigger issue. Should Team USA focus on players who've built legendary careers, or those who are currently playing the best basketball? Sharpe also asks a simple but loaded question. How exactly does the selection process work? It opens the door to concerns about possible biases, or even internal politics. There's no clear proof of that, but it's the kind of uncertainty that fuels debates like this. And zooming out, this isn't just about one roster decision. It ties into the future of the sport. Sharpe argues that growth depends heavily on sponsorships and investment, and that players with major appeal, like Clark, can help drive that forward. The question is whether those factors are actually being considered by the selection committee. So, what's the better approach? Do you stick with proven veterans, even if they're no longer at their peak, or do you prioritize players who are dominating right now? There's no easy answer, and that's exactly why this debate isn't going away anytime soon. If you were building a national team, would you lean toward players with legendary resumes, or the ones dominating right now? There's no easy answer, and that's exactly what makes this debate so interesting. So where do you stand? Do you agree with Shannon Sharpe that leaving Caitlin Clark off the roster was a mistake? Or do you think the selectors made the right call by trusting experience over current form? Looking beyond just one player or one tournament, this decision could have bigger implications for the future of women's basketball. If Sharpe's perspective holds true, leaving out a high-profile star like Clark isn't just a missed marketing opportunity, it could slow the sport's overall growth. His argument circles back to investment. Growth in the game depends heavily on sponsors and advertisers putting more money into it. And without major stars drawing widespread attention, that financial momentum can be harder to build. But it's not only about money. This situation also highlights broader questions around equality in sports. Are women's teams being promoted as effectively as men's? Are they given the same level of visibility and opportunity on global stages? These are bigger issues that go far beyond a single roster decision, and they're worth thinking about as the conversation continues.